Okay, very good morning. So today we are going to start again our PCP session on personal contact program session, our classes. Uh, so let us start the first paper. So welcome back to our class or PCP session. So we call it. Welcome to Mata Tirupati Sundari Open University. This is a Master of Arts program, Political Science, and course name is Modern Western Political Thought, and our course code is PLM 6211. I am your faculty, Pranto Devarma, and this my contact details is given there. You can email me if you have any queries regarding the course or regarding the program that is being conducted or this is being going on in our university. I'm also the program coordinator here, so you can contact me and I'll be happy to answer. You can also call me during office hours. There is a contact number given if you have any queries. So let us start today. Today is the third session of our class for the second semester. As after completing the first semester, now we have come to the second semester. Now, its second semester classes are going on. 2 sessions have been already completed. So this paper is Modern Western Political Thought. Western political thought basically means all the political thinkings and ideas from the western side of the world. That is basically we are living in Asia. This is called East China. The western side basically involves the Europe and the other American countries also. So modern, in the modern era of Western political thought, what are the ideas that have been propagated? Okay, what the modern age में क्या ideas आया निकल के from the western part of the world. So introduction. In the last class, in the Block-2, what we have discussed in your SLM, I hope you have received your SLM. Your hard copy is yet to be distributed. Your soft copy, I hope you have received. In the SLM, you will see all the things are divided into the block-wise. Is it not block 1, block 2, block 3, and block 4? Today, we are trying to cover the block 3. In the previous class, what we have covered is the block 2. So, what did we discuss in the block 2? Let us just have a quick go through. We have talked about Hegel. He talked about state is an ethical idea. That means state is an element or an instrument that teaches you what is good and what is bad. Like in India, what is good and what is bad, how do you learn it from the constitution? So constitution is always the part of the state. So ethical idea. So what is good and what is bad, it is always taught by the state. Like we should respect our national flag. It's a very basic thing. So it is a very important and a good thing that you respect. If you don't respect the national flag, it is a bad thing. So there is an ethical idea there. What is good and what is bad? When you learn that in the constitution, it is given under fundamental duties, Article 51A, you will see all these things. So it teaches you what is good and what is bad. Here, like also example, Article 14, right to equality in our constitution. It says that everybody should be equal before the law. So what we are saying is that here the state is trying to tell you that in front of the law, if you have done wrong, whether you are this position, what position, you are bound to be punished. So ethical idea, what is good, what is bad, it is taught from the law. So Hegel was talk about freedom be a rational whole. If you want freedom in your life, you have to have the rationality mindset. Whatever you do, you have to do a logical conclusion of your actions. So this is also another idea we talk about Hegel. And next, we talk about Thomas Hill Green, P.H. Green. He talk about idealist state, how to bring state to perfection, how to build a perfect state. Okay, he talk about that. And what is good and what is freedom. Okay, these are just basic idea, but Thomas Hill Green to talk about. If you want to have a good and positive freedom, like freedom. Freedom should not always be negative. Freedom does not mean that if I have freedom, I will do whatever I want. No, freedom means something it can be good for you. By having that freedom, maybe you explore this and that and finally found something new. So there is a positive freedom as discussed by the Thomas Green. Roles. Okay, John Rawls, justice as fairness is a very important concept in today's world. It's a very popular concept, it's a very contemporary idea, so which we learn there. And Bill of ignorance and different principles. These are the things we will learn there. In Block-2, we also learn about reformist, idealist, harmonic, universal, assume capitally reformable. So these are just basic ideas what we learn. In Block-3, what we have to learn today is materialistic term. Materialistic. So material means whatever things we can see, touch, and feel. I want to have this. I want to have a car. I want to have money. I want to have gold. These are all materialistic things. So we are going to learn about these ideas, which is linked with the political thought. We talk about that the economy is determining all the politics and other things in our society. And they also say that capitalism system is a very bad thing. So जो इकोनॉमी है वो सबको कंट्रोल करता है according to Karl Marx and Marxism. This is their idea we will discuss. What we are going to discuss here is unit 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Okay. 10 to 12 we are talking about all the Marxian ideology, Karl Marx, the ideas and his school of thought and the other people who are related to Marxism. We are going to learn about economic determinism. That means economic is a very big determinator, very important factor in our society according to Karl Marx. Economic, it controls other things, even politics is controlled by the economy according to the Marx foundation. Class struggle, what Karl Marx and Marxism always talk about is the class struggle between the classes. Rich class and the poor class are always fighting with one another according to Karl Marx. Lenin also, it is also the same thing about imperialism, how this rich country are always controlling the poor country. Mao Zedong is all talk about revolution and peasants and contradiction. In Gramsci, I got hegemony, how the rich are always trying to control over the poor people. So these are the things that we'll be discussing today in our session. So let's go to unit 10. Marx economic determinism. Economic determinism means economic is the thing which determines other things also. So that is what it means. Economic determinism. Base, production force, technology, relation, ownership, superstructure, law, state, and religion. Base. So here, when you build a house, you first make the foundation, isn't it? If your foundation is strong, then only the other part of the house will also be strong. So what Marx is saying that the base in our society, okay, in today's world is always the production force. That means the economic system, technology, ownership, who is the owner of the property, what technology is being used, who are the workers, the working, those who are engaged in the productive force. Okay, so this is the base. Other things, law, state, and religion are just part of the building. The base is the ownership. That means the economic activities, the other parts, whether your school, whether your hospital or your parks or any activities, religion are all part of the just this base. Okay, so this is according to him. History is the most important. So Marx also talk about these historical stages. How did we evolve as a human being? We have evolved from somewhere to now. Is it not? Before there was no aeroplane. Now we have aeroplane, helicopter, car, or we have so many technologies, advanced technologies, computers, supercomputers. So there has been some evolution. According to Marxism, also there has been some evolution. That means from primitive communism to slavery to feudalism, feudalism to capitalism, and then we have the socialism. Primitive means when there was old society, there was no state system, just people hunting and gathering. Okay, so that's slavery. That means people were bought as slave and they had to work. After that, feudalism. That means the landlord. The landlord are controlling big plot of land and people are under them. Capitalism, which we are having now, free market and free economy. Everybody has the power and right to do whatever they want. I mean, in the business sense, if they can earn crores and crores of money, there is no restriction. After this, what Karl Marx predicted is we will have a socialism system. In socialism system, there will be full control of the state over uh, the full control of the government and the state over the people. Like there will be some limitation that you cannot earn more than this much. Okay, so there will be basically they are talking about equal distribution of wealth in socialism, egalitarian society. Is it not? Who doesn't want an equal society? Who want to remain unequal always? Inequality means see the rich are getting rich, the poor are getting poor. That's the basic idea. So who want that? You know, they basically, if you ask any general person out of nowhere, he will always support equality, that everybody is given equal opportunity and equal economic requirement so that they can build themselves. So that's also the idea of Karl Marx. Contradiction, forces, outgrow relations, crisis, and liberation. So these are just the basic stages how these things are going to happen. The fighting between rich and poor will go, and crisis in the last revolution. Example: industrial machine demand collective ownership versus private property. So this is just an example that group ownership versus the private property. Private property is basically capitalism. Group ownership is socialism. So Marxism, you can see the picture here. He is he's one of the greatest, also almost the founder. We talk about collective ownership. So, what is dialectical materialism? Another theory of Karl Marx. Material condition drive ideas matter over mind. Law 1: quantity to quality, water boils to steam. Law 2: unity of opposite class conflict propel change. Law 3: negation of negation, capitalism negates feudalism, socialism negates capitalism. Okay, so it's talking about a social change, how society is changing from this to that. Material, if we see something, generally from there we try to make something. Okay, first, if you see a tree, after seeing that tree only, you are thinking that if I cut the tree and if I take the wood, I can make a chair. So this is the basic idea. He said that it is not that fast you have idea that without seeing the tree, you are just thinking that if I think that's a tree, I'll take out the wood and I will make a chair. No, idea did not come first. According to this theory, material comes first. First you saw the tree, then you realize that you can cut it and make a chair. So that is the first point. Second is quantity to the number. How much is there? Quality later on. Okay, so water. First water, if you boil the water, then only steam comes. Steam is the quality part. Quantity means how much water do you have. Before seeing the result, you should see how much amount of investment or quantity is there. So there is law number 1. Law number 2 is opposite class conflict propel change. There is always a class conflict. In slavery also there was conflict between slave and master. In feudalism also there was conflict between the feudal lords and the serfs. So this class conflict, it continuously make the changes in society. Law number 3 is that same thing, capitalism negates feudalism, socialism negates capitalism. So these are ideological conflict. Okay. Like capitalism and feudalism were not the same. I mean, they are against each other. So what came is, from feudalism, capitalism came again. From capitalism, socialism will come. So this is just a prediction. So again, unit 10, surplus value and class struggle. What is surplus value? Is that worker produce wages. Capitalists take profit expenses. So what they're trying to say is the working class, those who are the worker of our society, they are made to work so much. They are made to work hard, but the main profit is always taken by the owner, the rich class. So this is the first basic idea of surplus value. Value from the machine transfer existing value. Class versus proletariat class. Proletariat consciousness, his power, and end classes. So he is again talking about here the bourgeois and the proletariat, the owner versus the worker. Okay, so this class conflict will always be there according to Karl Marx. This we are not talking about only India. We are talking about the whole world, whole earth, wherever humans are there. He's talking about that there is always a system where the rich class are always exploiting the poor class. So in the what is the end solution was given by him was proletariat consciousness. Those were the poor people. One day they will be very much angry, and they will throw away this system, and they will make the equal society for everyone. There is no class, there is no rich, there is no poor, there is no ST, there is no OBC, there is no general. Everybody is a human being in the future according to the Karl Marx prediction. Okay. So unit 11, what it talk about is the dictatorship of the proletariat. How the proletariat means the working class. How the working class will have the ruling power. So they talk about Marxism again. What they are talking about is that they talk about revolution. That we have to throw out the system, the economic system or the political system which we have now. They want to throw it because it is full of capitalism. So we have to what? I mean, according to Marx, what they have to do is that they have to bring down this army and the police which we have now. This will be broken, and what will be built is the worker council. This will worker, they will make a group. And whatever the production is happening in the country will be all under that group, and everybody will be educated, and there is no more chance to resist or revolution. Okay, so these are some of the things, very important things. Nationalize, suppress resistance, and everybody educated. And so temporary ends when class disappears. So when the whole class system will be disappeared from our small system, then the things will be perfect. So this is the dictatorship of the project, and what will be added there. So communist society, what is communist society? The end result, future. Future में वो लोग क्या चाहते थे? What they want to bring in the future is stateless, classless, moneyless, state leaders away. There is no state. They say we have the state. India is also a state. China. These names, okay, Delhi or America or Britain or Switzerland, this kind of things will not be there. Everybody is just a land, just a land, open field, okay, classless. There is no rich class, there is no poor class, there is no money, and there is no state system. So from its according to ability to its according to needs, everybody will have to earn by how much ability they have, and everybody will be given how much they need, not more than that. And free labor, full human development. Labor will be free, everybody will work. Nobody will say, I have to work harder and I am the king. No, everybody will work and everybody will eat, and all humans will be given equal opportunity to develop themselves. While communism dissolves nation. Okay, so after this thing, there is no more nation. So communism is a picture given here. A political and economic ideology that positions itself in opposition to liberal democracy and capitalism, advocating instead of classes system, which means the production of communal private ownership and several were held. So there is no more private property. तुम ये नहीं बोल सकोगे कि ये मेरा घर है और ये मेरा एरिया है, मेरा बाउंड्री के अंदर मत आओ. It is collective ownership. Everybody is the owner. There is no private property. So this is one of the most important characteristics of a communalism according to Marxism. So in the end, what is the critical estimate? Let us think deeply what they have done here, Karl Marx. What is their strength? Explains inequality, predicts crisis over production, falling profit. So the strength, the positive part of Marxism is that they explain what is happening in inequality in society. That rich people are getting this, and the poor people are not able to get this. The poor people are again getting the poor. So sometimes crisis happen, okay, in our society. Like 2008, there was a crisis. So this crisis, this World War is also a crisis. Even COVID-19 is also a crisis. Even this Ukraine, Russia war is also a crisis. So Karl Marx and Marxism, what they have done well is that they are able to predict the crisis, okay, and explain inequality, why there is so much inequality in our society. Strength is inspire labor rights, welfare reforms. What they have done is that those are workers, they have try to educate and inspire the workers to fight for their rights, you know, and welfare reforms, okay, to bring changes and what are the necessary things that can be brought up for the betterment of the workers. Weakness, sometimes weakness also there, overlooks culture, ideas, symptoms, nationalism. So the weakness of Marxism is that they fail to talk, they did not talk much about what importance of cultures and ideas in our society. If you take in the morning, what did you eat? Something relevant to your culture, something relevant to us. I did not eat pizza in the morning. I did not eat or burger in the morning. What I ate is from my culture, from my food. So Karl Marx and Marxism, they fail to address these things and ideas, the importance of the idea. According to Karl Marx, everything is evolving from material, what we can see. But there are some things what we cannot see, which we think. So these are some of the weakness. Empirical, no Western revolution state bureaucratic USSR. So in reality, the revolution what predicted has not come. The reality that throwing away the government has not able to happen. So that is the weakness. So this is the critical estimate, a critical study of what they have done. So let's just have a quick video of what is Marxism about. So that was about the Karl Marx and his ideas about whatever we have discussed today have been brief in that video if you have seen it. So now let's go to the next unit, that is Lenin. Okay, another, he also belongs to the Marxist school of thought. They are always in support of the working class. Okay. So what he's talked about was that the workers should make trade union, as we have seen today. Many trade unions are there, so we can see that we may also conclude that this is some of the effects of the Lenin ideas that the world has thought about it, and they finally began to act on making these trade unions, and the party, the group are having the socialist idea. So this process is the internal divide with the unified action. So whatever discussion is happening within the group, there will be a debate, but the action should be unified one. So he talked about imperialism, capitalism as the monopoly export capital. So what we have now is that capitalism. So what is going to happen is that imperialism is going to happen upon capitalism when the rich people are going to have the monopoly. If everybody started to use iPhone, that means the iPhone is the monopoly and he is the controlling you, imperialism. If you are having a mobile phone, if you are putting all your data, all your mobile number, your address, whatever documents, if you are inserting in your mobile phone, that means the component of the mobile phone is likely to have access to whatever you are putting there. So by that your data can be controlled, or you can be controlled, you can be traced, your actions can be traced. So there is a way of controlling monopolies export capital. Okay? So if you are wearing Western clothes every day, the Western people are profiting because you are using it again and again. So you are under their kind of control. So there is intelligence. Super profit drive labor as super party professional revolutionaries. So this is just some example and situations what can be happen. Lenin communist state. Here to talk about the state, what kind of state should be built. So this state cannot be changed. Whatever the state which we have now, where the rich are controlling everything, so we cannot be changed. This is cannot be however the reform or changes you want to bring, it will not become perfect. So he talk about smashing it. That means breaking it down, maybe through a revolution, fighting. Soviets he talk about a direct democracy, all power to the Soviets, all people. Okay, everybody should be given the power. Dictator supports international revolution essential. So, what he's planning or advocating is that the working class should be dictator, should rule, and that all the world should start a revolution to have changes in society. If we don't do that, what will happen? There will not be equality in society, and we will continue to have inequality where the rich are rich and the poor are poor. The criticism he got was that he became a one-party rule and not mass democracy. In the end, what he did for his own practice was that it was a one-party rule and he did not bring a mass democracy. So that is one of the criticism our Sir Lenin has faced. Another very important figure is from China. Okay, Lenin was from USSR, Russia. It's China, Mao Zedong. You can see the picture here. He was also from a Marxist school of thought who talk about the rights of the workers, the rights of the poor people. Okay. So he's saying those are the weak proletariat. When there are many working class, what they should do is that they should adapt to Marxism. They should do that Marxism ideas and ideology. He talked about a new democracy. Democracy was already there. He talked about something new. United from workers, peasant, people, as well as capitalism. So those who are workers, those who are farmers, those who are the poor class, they should fight against the rich class who are controlling the society. So that is his idea. Guerrilla war. Okay, very much popular. I used to learn about this guerrilla war. Countryside encircled cities, protracted people's war. Okay. So those who are from the countryside, that means those who are not exactly from the city area, those who are a little bit from outskirts of the city, they will encircle the city and they will attack on the city. You can say that there is a way of guerrilla war. Land reform, okay? So you will always see that there are some very, very rich people in our society, and there are some people who don't even have a house or a land. So these some of the ideas which made this Marxist uh, write so much about the poor people. So he wanted to empower the farmers, okay, and if you empower the farmers and the peasants, peasants or the workers, peasants, so revolutionary to bring the changes, revolution through overthrowing the present system of government or the economy, whatever system in society we have, they want to overthrow it. So that is the idea of his land reform. Contradiction. What are the critical again? Let's deep study about what happened is that principle one shift imperialism versus nation. There is this one contradiction. Antagonism, class enemy imbalance, not antagonistic, resolvable via criticism. There is another one. On practice, perpetual experience, rational theory knowledge. Mass line, collect scattered opinions, synthesize, return to masses. So contradiction, everybody has contradiction. Nobody is perfect. Isn't it? Today, I might say that I want to eat papaya. But tomorrow I might not feel like it. Tomorrow I might want to eat apple. So this is a contradiction. That means everybody have changes, okay, changes in ideas. So his ideas was that imperialism versus nation. So imperialism means basically when the rich are monopoly and controlling you versus the nation. Who is actually controlling you? It's a very question to understand, but the main basic here is that imperialism, how do we finish or how do we extinguish this system of imperialism? Imperialism means when somebody is controlling you indirectly, directly or indirectly. Class enemies, okay. In Marxism, there is always a talking about the rich class and the poor class. Is it not? There is always a discussion that rich class and poor class is there. So we talk about direct fighting. We have to fight, but some contradiction is that we can also solve it without fighting. So these are some ideas which he had earlier and got to change later on. So these are just some examples. Okay. So another important figure in our Marxist or this thought is in block 3 is Gramsci. Okay, you can see the picture here. So rule is that there can be different type of control. Okay, like the state can control you, is it not? Police. If you do that, the police will arrest you. If you drive without license, police will fine you. So it's a coercion, state force, plus consent. Civil society, school, media, and church also control you. If you go to the school, you have to wear the uniform. And whatever the media and the press are saying, you try to understand it, and sometimes you believe it also. So this is also controlling your mind. Church. If you are going to church and whatever is being said and taught in the church or any religion, you will try to adopt and learn it. So these are some way that you have been controlled according to Gramsci. Hegemony means controlling. So bourgeois cultural dominance, what he's saying is that the rich class is always controlling you through culture. Okay, you have to wear the way they wear clothes, the way the rich people are wearing, you want to wear their clothes. The way they speak, you want to speak like them. The way they walk, you want to walk like them. So you are under the control of somebody else. So those are the worker, what in the end they become inferior and they tend to accept the inferiority also. So these are some of the ideas. There's superstructure and mutual reinforcement. Okay, so again, what we talk about the base is always the economy, and the superstructure are all religion and other society are. There is same discussion which I discussed in the first slide. What he wrote is a Prison Notebook, analyze Italy's revolutionary failure. Okay, so his book name is Prison Notebook. You can remember that, and we talk about how revolution has failed in Italy. So, from class-less articulate worldview, what of cohesion, cultural struggle before also present Lenin maneuver, philosophy present theory practice unity builds new block, pessimism, optimism of will. So again, he talk about intellectual hegemony actually here, how to counter. So classes, so the rich class, they always try to control you. Basically, some idea here, example is that the rich country will try to give you loan money, and until you repay the loan, you have to remain under their control. So that is one very example of in international politics that rich country are trying to maintain their hegemony, not forcefully, not by sending army to your country, but by indirect. Maybe you have to take loan from them, and if you cannot repay the loan, you have to give them some piece of land and something like that. These are some of the ideas of uh, hegemony. Okay, so indirect control. You are not directly controlled. Nobody is telling you directly that you should sleep at this time, you should dress clothes like this, but through some social media or influence, if you are using mobile phone every day nowadays, you will see what people are doing. Is it not? People are wearing this, people are dancing like this, people are walking like this. So automatically you want to learn sometimes, you want to be like them. Automatically your mind it becomes like that. So there is a way of controlling you. You are being controlled through that okay thing. So there is an idea of hegemony that somebody is actually is controlling you culturally, not forcefully. You are automatically compelled to do. So these are the things Nancy was talking about that you have to be aware of. So what we have discussed here is basically about Marxism and the ideas how people are controlling you and how the economy is the most important thing. In Block 3, we have discussed economic determinism about Karl Marx, which we talk about that the economic is the base and other things, politics, society, religion, school are all part of the superstructure, part of the building. But the base is the economic production forces and the worker class evolves through organization. Okay, so Lenin talk about this labor union. So we have to form a group. After forming group, we can finally form the revolution. Adaptation. Mao Zedong is talking about adaptation. Culture. Okay, so and Gramsci is talking about cultural hegemony, how people are controlling you culturally, not forcefully. So at the end, everybody is trying to talk about towards the classless communism. Okay? If there will be no state, everybody is a worker. Legacy is the power. What these ideas, what they have done is that they have power Russia. They have made Chinese revolution under Mao Zedong. There was a revolution. Labor rights were there. So the labor now they have a rights. Like this is the minimum they should be paid in India. How much now? I think about 700 is the per day wage. Okay, so these are some of the rights given to the workers. Welfare state, the states are expected to provide service to the citizens. So this is a very important reform brought out by the things. Anti-colonial struggles worldwide. So whatever that happened, the anti-colonial even in India, even in Africa or some other countries, South America, or even in fact, American Revolution also a part of anti-colonial fight. Okay. So these are some things which they have inspired. Critics is that they always what these people are trying to do is they always support one party. Okay? That all these countries are supporting only one party. There is no scope of changes. Economic stagnation. The falling of USSR has collapsed. So there is one of the criticism they have faced. Human rights abuses. What we have seen in this country is that human rights are not too much fluent, or they are having abuses sometimes. Fell to wither away. The state has not been able to lose. The state system and the capitalist system is still there, so their prediction is not correct. That is one of the criticism. So in the next block, we are talking about Lasky, plural state critics, Marxism, and Hannah Arendt, totalitarian dangers, and the Wollstonecraft feminist foundation. So next block, we are going to discuss all these things. Today, short question to solve is what is surplus value and what is the between hegemony and dictatorship. If you have any question, you can ask. So surplus value is basically that see the rich class or the industrialists who are controlling the industry, they will not work. The owner will not come and work in the factory. So this is the meaning of surplus value. So whatever the production has been done, the production done by the workers, the profit is always taken by the owner, and the workers are given just the bare minimum or very small amount of the production. So whatever the value extra money profit is taken by the owner. So that is called surplus value. The main profit of production in industry is taken out by the owner, and the workers are left with very small amount of penny. So that is the surplus value. Hegemony and dictatorship. Dictatorship is openly you are being fully dominated physically or any of that case. Hegemony is a direct or indirect control, like a cultural hegemony said by Gramsci, that people may control you through the cultural influence also. Not always they will have that gun on your head and tell you to do this and that, but it is through an indirect control through many ways like school, church, and these are two very basic given by the Gramsci also. So next block, I will see you in this for this class. For now, thank you for joining this session, and we will be having class again. Okay. We have a class again after 30 minutes. Okay. Thank you and see you in the next class. Thank you.